Let's go over some basics about full-time RV living. So there's no right or wrong answer when it comes to how to RV. RVing is a reflection of yourself. As you guys can see right now, I'm lining up my fifth wheel hitch. You have to get it just perfectly aligned. So take your time. There's no rush. There shouldn't be any rush when it comes to RVing. There's no limit to how many times you can jump out of your car to do a walk around to make sure you're clear on all sides. I'm a bit of a perfectionist. I finally got it into a position that I'm happy with. So once you've got yourself pulled into your sight, it's time to unhitch. Everything is in place. Now I'm gonna pull free of the hitch. That's it, I'm free. So that's really the hardest part about full-time RV living, is when you have to back in or pull into a new site. And to be honest, it's really not that hard. I actually kind of find the challenge a little fun. So I'm giving you guys more of an overview than a how-to video. One of the fun parts to full-time RV living is setting up camp. And this is where you really get to have that reflection of yourself. I used to work in a campground and I didn't see any two campsites that were set up the same way. I prefer more of a minimalist setup. I've got 2 camp chairs and 1 small folding camp table, but to each his own. There's a lot of different things you can do.
Six and a half hours later.
Like everything, practice makes perfect. The more times you set up and tear down, the easier it's gonna get. Campsite setup is where you can get some creative freedom. They can be elaborate. If you are full-timing and you are not moving, a lot of people, they do what is called snowbirding. You go north for the summer, you go south for the winter. That way you're always in the best possible weather. And if you're going to one location for an entire season, you can set up really nice decking. You can set up plants. You can find and reserve a spot for the entire season. That's what I did this past winter season. And the sky is the limit as far as what you can do at that site. If you're on the move a lot, you might want minimal campsite setup. I like just having 2 chairs, a cooler, and a small folding table. And I've got less around me and I can take in the environment around me a little bit more that way. Now I guess I'm going to go over some of the systems you're going to find in an RV, whether it's old or new. They all use pretty much the same equipment. You definitely want to get one of these cradles for your sewer hose. If you don't have a cradle, it's going to dip down and then up before it goes into the plumbing system for the campground. That means that you're going to have water just sitting in your hose that's not draining properly. So all campgrounds are going to have an electrical box that looks similar to this one. If you're a 30 or a 50 amp RV, you want to do your best to get into the appropriate site. If you're 30 amp, do your best to get into a 30 amp site. If you're a 50 amp, you want to do your best to get into a 50 amp site. That's the best protection you're going to have for your electrical systems. Not all campgrounds have really nice updated electrical infrastructure. If you're a 50 amp rig, you can get a converter to allow you to plug into a 30 amp site. But depending on what they have here and how old it is, you could be putting some strain on their system. Likewise, you could be putting some strain on your electrical system within your RV. You've got circuit breakers just like at home. You've got an electrical plug, you just plug right in. So for the short term, you can go with those conversion plugs to get your 50 amp rig into a 30 site or a 30 amp rig into a 50 amp site, but I don't recommend that over long term. Well, the sun is starting to set and it's been a pretty long day. Since the day is starting to end, let's go inside. I'll give you a full tour. I just want to say a little more about the freedom that full-time RV life gives you. The greatest thing about RV living is that you don't actually have to be hooked up to an electrical system. All RVs have what we call house batteries. House batteries, it's a 12-volt battery similar to what you have in your car or in a boat, and that will run lights, it'll run your furnace fan, it'll run your bathroom fan. With every RV comes a propane system and propane tanks. The propane tanks give you heat through your furnace, they give you cooking on your stove, cooking on your oven. Propane will keep your refrigerator cold. You have all of your essentials, and this is all just with your house battery and your propane. This allows you in your RV life to live off grid. You don't need to be hooked up. And I love that freedom that I get. So let's go on a tour. Now this RV does have 3 slide outs. I've got 2 in my living room, a dinette slide out, I've got a dining room table, I've got a full couch, the kitchen slide out. I feel like my kitchen isn't lacking any space whatsoever. I've got tons of counter space, plenty of pantry space, enough refrigerator space. Every RV is a little bit different. And like I said, this is where you really get to pick out your own place. I love all the shelves and space that we have for books. I've got a coat rack. We also have one more slide out in our bedroom. You can see that I've got a full closet. There's underbed storage. I've got cabinets below and above, a nice big picture window. It's plenty big. Now I'm standing next to the bed looking forward, and you can see that we have a pretty nice bathroom. It is shared with the bedroom, although there is a slider if you wanted to separate them. We get a full linen closet. It's where we store the vacuum, the broom, bags, gear, paper towels, you name it. We would be able to fit a washer and dryer unit in there, but I prefer to have the storage space. And of course, a separate water closet. Now I did a lot of research to figure out what exactly I wanted, and I really recommend that you guys go through a lot of RV walkthroughs. I wanted a large RV because we have a dog and a cat. It's me and my fiance, and we're not cramped for space at all. This is a 35-foot fifth wheel, Keystone Montana. I got a great deal on this. It was a nationwide hunt, And I think I might do a video later on just telling you guys the story of how we transitioned into full-time RVing. I hope you guys liked this video. Coming up soon, we're gonna do some kayaking. We're gonna do some hiking around Glacier National Park. Those are gonna be much more fun videos. I'm gonna bring you more nature windows. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you again soon.